Jewel Diamond Taylor, the Self-Esteem Doctor. And boy, do I have an awesome guest today. I have with me today Kim Carter, the founder of Time for Change Foundation in San Bernardino, California. Now, many of you know the history of my name. My father was a jeweler in Washington, D.C., where I was born. And when I decided to become a public speaker, I began to research this idea about diamonds. And I saw such a wonderful metaphor for life. That diamonds don't come out of the earth shining. They come out of a piece of black coal. You have to dig for them. You have to find them. You've got to polish them. You got to cut them before they begin to sparkle. And the theme of this awesome organization founded by Kim Carter is celebrating life's precious jewels. She's able to find those women that are diamonds in the rough. The people that sometimes people just pass by. They don't see their potential. They don't see the God in them. They don't see the opportunities in their destiny and their gifts and their talents. And I want to personally congratulate you, Kim, for what you're doing for so many lives, for so many families. Tell us some more about celebrating life's precious jewels.
Well, first I want to say thank you for having me here on your show. I'm excited, and I'm always excited to talk about the wonderful work of Time for Change Foundation. As she stated, our theme for our annual fundraiser every year is celebrating life's precious jewels, because we do believe that we have demonstrated that we find the women whose lives are still in the black coal opportunity. They're still in the dark. They're still in the muck and the mire, for lack of better words. And it takes a diamond cutter to recognize inside of that coal, inside of that roughness, is something precious, is something awesome. So at Time for Change Foundation, our mission is to empower disenfranchised individuals and families by building leadership through housing and leadership development to create self-sufficiency and thriving communities. How do we do that? We have a couple of programs. Our primary linchpin is housing. We provide a safe and affordable place for women to live with their children. They can recover and rebuild from the devastation of whatever life had thrown at them. The second thing that we do is we pride ourselves because we use evidence-based programs. People use that term loosely, but what evidence-based means is that we're doing programs that have outcomes. So it's sort of like saying when you invest in Time for Change, you know that your investment is going to reap these certain results.
Yes.
We don't just do what feels good, we do what is right. We don't give a hand out, we give a hand up, and that makes a difference. While we are just a tool in the bigger scheme of life, we recognize that we are the hammer. We recognize we could be the fire, we can be the shaper, we can be the polisher, we can be the molder. We realize that we do this with support of the community. And people like yourselves who are out there who want to give back and want to figure out how to help people become self-sufficient and independent, they look to Time for Change because they know we're making a difference. One of the things that I'm really excited to talk about is our Center for Advocacy and Leadership Training. It was started in 2010, and Nicole Wolf, a staff member, is the director of that organization, and it's actually a project under our foundation. And what we do is we teach other providers, law enforcement, government, nonprofit organizations, how to implement services and programs that are result-driven.
So it's very holistic what you're doing here.
Wraparound services that we provide are holistic, meaning we work from a strength-based approach. We utilize motivational interview techniques, strength-based case management, and we're gender responsive. Now, what does gender responsive mean? Gender responsive means that when a woman comes into this door, she's not going to be re-traumatized. That we have catered our services in a way that's going to meet her where she's at, build up on her strength, and help her to reach her fullest potential. A lot of times, unbeknownst to organizations who have well-meaning, there's process to get services sometimes re-traumatize the clients, and they're not able to actually engage in what they need. Because you have to take a look at your program, your site, your staff, the content, and your delivery method to make sure that what you're providing the woman is not what you think she should have, but what does she need? What has somebody...
You are a woman. You have been out on the street. You have been in prison. Homeless. So you have a compassion. You have a heart. You have a story. So this is not about what you said, just feel good. This is about actually empowering women in a very holistic way with housing, leadership, taking care of the family. As I walked around your facility today, I saw success stories behind the desk working with you now. How many people do you have on staff?
We have 11 staff
11.
here, and out of the 11, 5 of them are former clients of Time for Change Foundation, and 6 of us have had previous experience with either substance abuse, homelessness, or incarceration. And we have, of course, a very highly educated staff team as well. So we have, a lawyer on staff. We have MBAs, MSW. So we have the professional staff that we need on board to make sure that we're staying in compliance with a lot of federal regulations or what have you. But we also have those groundbreakers, those folks that go out there and put their hand out and say, hey, let me help you up. And those are the ones that we really cherish as well, because what we feel is like, you can write a book and all that, but if you can't go out there and pick a sister up off the curb, help her get the lights out of here, help her get the bath and the meal before you start saying your social security card, your driver's license, where you lived at last, who's your this, who's your that, then it's not going to be a success. So we pride ourselves on that. There are times that we have families that we pick up, and you just see my staff come together. So, for example, there was a woman, she had 4 children, and from the ages of 10 down, and sitting in here, they were doing the interview process, and my case manager went over and just grabbed one of the little girl's hair and lifted it up. It was full of headlights. Now, I didn't detect the headlights, but my staff is so trained. They understood that baby kept on scratching what was going on. They detected headlights. Okay, so you have headlights and you have obvious bed bug bites. So we can't bring you directly into the shelter with that type of condition because we have other people in the shelter. But what do? We partner across the street with the hotel, with the motel. We get the room. We get you guys into the room, get all your clothes, get you the rid, get all your hairs done, and get you ready, get you dinner, get you up in the morning, and bring you to the office, and now you're ready to go into the shelter. When they got into the shelter, they just was crying because they didn't believe that our shelter is actually a home. It's not cots. It's not everybody sleeping in dormitory style. We believe in the family model, and the family model can only happen when you're doing home-style solutions. So we do home-style solutions. We teach women how to live in a home of their own. Our success is not them off the street. Our success is them maintaining their own household, becoming independent. We want our clients to be tax-paying citizens and be in a place of contribution. Because when you look at this hand, which hand look better? The hand on the top is better than the hand on the bottom. So you may start off here, but how do we get you to where you can give back? You can give back to the community and pour into your children. And we have children who have missed grades of school. They have been out of school so long that when they come to the shelter and start going every day, like, Mommy, we got to go every day?
Oh, my God.
Just have been so disconnected from what we take for granted. And so, like I say, at Time for Change Foundation, between the shelters, we have Homes of Hope, our permanent supportive housing program, where we take families and put them directly into their own apartment.
Now, is this what you mean by wraparound services?
Exactly. Wraparound just means instead of me sending you out for fragmentation, that I coordinate your system of care so that it's seamless, so that you get everything you need without even knowing when one thing stops or another thing began.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tell me about some of the other programs that you have under the roof of Time for Change Foundation.
So we have the Phoenix Square. In 2012, we developed our own affordable housing. What does that mean? That means that we built the type of housing that we want to see here in the Inland Empire.
You built it?
We built it from the ground up.
Oh my gosh.
And one of the things that's the most exciting, because accounting is my first love, so I'm really good with budgets, is that we was able to hire local. We were able to keep the money here in our community. Because one of my pet peeves is seeing major projects go up in the community, and I don't see nobody that we recognize working on the site. That's like one of my pet peeves. So I proved that the Inland Empire does have the talent, we have the capability, and when you want to make sure the money stays in the community, you can do that. So we had a 75% impact in our local city. All of the clients received jobs, and we retained 217 jobs through that project. But what's fascinating is that we received the Crime Prevention through Environmental Design Award. We are crime-free housing, and in the past 3 years, we've had 0 police calls.
Wow.
0 police calls for low-income housing, something that's unheard of here in the Inland Empire, but we demonstrated that it can be done.
Possible.
And the beauty of it is that our partnership with local law enforcement, they call us and say, hey, you know, there was a crime across the street in the elementary school. Someone's broken and stole computers. Can we come look at your surveillance footage and see if we can help identify the suspects? So we're actually being a resource for law enforcement as opposed to what is normally known as that low-income housing sucks up law enforcement resources. So it's definitely a dynamic paradigm shift that we're able to be that catalyst of change.
Kim Carter is so humble. I mean, I wish we had time to talk about all of the things that she's able to accomplish, all the lives that she's impacting. And I want everyone to know, how can they reach out to you? And I also want to ask, there may be somebody listening and saying, you know what, I've got a dream, I've got a vision, I'm on a mission, I'm not in Southern California. Is Kim Carter someone that I could reach out to and say, Kim, is there any way you can support me, any resources you could share with me, any training you could give me to book me and get me started?
Believe it or not, I get calls all the time, and that's another blessing is that God has allowed me to be that entrepreneur, self-starter. People know they can do it too.
Yes.
And so people call me all the time. By all means, my name is Kim Carter. My phone number is 909-886-2994. And when I say we, not just myself, but I've managed to surround myself with some very successful people along the way that's helped shape and mold me to the business that I am today. And I also have a terrific staff that without them, none of this, what I do, would be possible. So I definitely want to make a contribution and a dedication to the wonderful staff at Time for Change Foundation, because without them, I wouldn't be here. I would be crazy because I'm always having ideas of things to do. www.timeforchangefoundation.org. I mentioned earlier we had a fundraiser coming up, celebrating life's precious jewels. It's going to be happening April 17, 2015, here at the National Orange Show. If you go to their website, www.timeforchangefoundation, and that's for FOR, you can go on there and find out about our upcoming event. This is our major fundraiser of the year. We guarantee that 90% of the money that you dedicate to this fundraiser will go directly to the shelter, and the other 10% will go to transportation that we use to get bus passes and to continue our van services, to get clients back and forth to different services throughout today. So you want to make an investment in something that really works, please join us April 5th to April 17th, National Orange Show. We look forward to seeing you.
April the 17th. Well, I'm going to be in Maryland that weekend, but I'm certainly going to make sure that we support this awesome fundraising opportunity. I'm so grateful to you, Kim Carter, for sharing your time. I know you have a busy schedule, but I wanted the world to see who you are and what you're doing here, your incredible staff. And I'm always sharing in my leadership training, always find out who's holding your ladder. So she gave a lot of credit to her team, which is so important. So I want to sign off by saying to you, make sure that you associate with the right people, that you develop your team, as I have a team of 18 dynamic women. Who's holding your ladder? Who's helping you to do God's work? Who's helping you to make an impact? Maybe you're a leader or you're a follower, but it's so important that you find that purpose, that thing that drives you. You want to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. And Kim, you are a part of the solution. You are God's vessel. And I am so proud to know this woman. And I pray that you all take note. Go to my website if you didn't get the information so that you can contact Kim Carter, TimeForChangeFoundation.org here in Southern California. I love you. I love you. I love you. God bless you.
And remember, do not give up.
That's right.
.net.
Sisters, support the sisters.
Same birthday.
That's right. Same birthday.